Hello?
Lori, can I get a quick audio and video check? Make sure we're going good here before I get started.
Yes, I'm here. I'm on the phone also.
Okay, great. Well, I'll get started here. My name's Tyler. I'm with Diesel Laptops, and hopefully everyone's hearing me just clearly through the course of this. As we get going, if you have any questions at all, just feel free to put them right in the chat message box, and we'll address them at the end, and we'll also open up a little Q&A at the end. So without further ado, I'll kind of just get started here and go through it. So first of all, what we're going to cover in this is just a variety of different diesel diagnostic equipment. And there's a lot of options in the marketplace. It's really confusing out there for the average person to know who's the best, which is better, what doesn't work, what am I paying every year. So we're going to kind of give you a high-level approach from this. And if anyone has any specific questions and wants to do a one-on-one consultation to talk about your needs, we're more than happy to do that with you. So what makes us unique is that we aren't just selling our product. We sell pretty much anybody's. So if there's a diesel diagnostic tool out there, we either have bought it or have used it. We have quite a variety here. We have test ECMs here. So we hook up to things and kind of compare and contrast what they do. And everyone's unique. So we don't have a one-fit solution for everybody, but we usually have multiple solutions for you. So we'll kind of talk about some of them. And some of the things we always look at when we're buying a diesel diagnostic tool is our initial cost. We also look at what kind of costs you're going to have going forward. Some of the vendors, they will make you pay a fee every single year just to keep using their tool, otherwise it stops working. Other vendors are optional, where they'll still work, but you won't get updates and support. And some of them lie somewhere in between. We're going to talk about coverage. We'll talk about training on the different tools, technical support. And the one thing I really want to zone in on with everybody to understand is there's actually two types of flash code, or two types of codes you get from an engine. We can sell you a cheap $300 reader, and there's some generic software that's out there that goes on a PC where it'll basically just read the raw J1708 and J1939 codes. And what those codes are just kind of standard codes that are out in the industry, and they really don't tell you too much. You really need the OEM flash codes. So when it comes to codes, where the rubber meets the road with these guys is you always want to be able to see flash codes so you're able to obtain technical information to fix the trucks. So let's just start with the very, very best thing you can possibly get, and that is the OEM software. This is the same software that dealers use. It's the best you can get. You get support from the factory. It does everything you want it to do, but there's always a but. There are some very not good things with it. First of all, not all of the vendors make their software available to the general public. That's problem number one. Problem number two is some of the vendors that do give their software to the public give you a watered-down version that won't give you all the features that you're looking for. The other trend in the industry for the OEM software is to go to required annual license fees. So almost every vendor out there, for the most part, will charge you an annual fee to use their software. Some of their software will stop working after a year. Some of it will go into read-only. Some of it does work perpetually, but you don't get updates. So it's a really confusing thing out there. And then technician training and ease of use. For especially the smaller shops, if you have every bit of OEM software you can get your hands on, you're going to have 20 different programs. They're all going to look different. And I can guarantee you your technicians will probably be okay at them, but they're going to have a lot of questions and probably missing some things because of the complexity and the variety that's out there. And then trying to manage multiple licenses with multiple vendors and programs that expire at multiple times is difficult to say the least. So to give you an idea of what OEM software looks like and the pricing that it looks like, this page has a chart of all the OEM software that you can buy legally and what you'll be looking at for an initial purchase along with your required annual fees. So looking at some of the more expensive ones, about halfway down that list you'll see Hino, Isuzu, and Mitsubishi Fuso. All of those imports are really, really expensive, and they all expire every year, so you have to keep paying that fee. Even Eaton Transmission's got in the game. They used to make their software free for everybody. Now they've changed it, and now they're basically going to charge you $700 up to $3,000 every 2 years to keep their software going just to hook up to the transmission. So you'll notice not all the vendors are on there, and that's because not all of them will allow people to sell it or resell it. So this next chart here gives you some examples. Caterpillar ET, the software from CAT, if they'll even sell it to you, the cheapest I heard anybody getting it is $750 a year, and I've heard people paying upwards of $2,000 a year. PACCAR, they're the same way. They're going to charge you $1,200 the first year, and they're going to charge you $400, give or take, a year after that. You have to buy it direct from them, and they make it a painful, painful process to try to get it. And we've had more than one client that has bought that software from their local Kenworth or Peterbilt dealer, and what's happened is they've gotten it and they didn't have force regens, or they didn't have injector coding. Like, things have been missing out of their program that they needed access to. And then Nissan UD trucks. Depending on the year you want to work on, you can get a lot of that stuff, but it's just really, really expensive for the Nissan stuff. So let's kind of work our way up from the lowest solution all the way up to the most effective solution. And I can tell you, just a little bit of a teaser, the best tool out there is not the most expensive. So we'll kind of go through all these just one at a time. So this is your basic handheld reader. You'll find a variety of them in the marketplace. They're $300 and up. The problem with them is they only give you those raw codes. So I threw an example up there, like the MID 128, PID 145, FMI 6. I guarantee you if you went on Google, you would probably not have a clue. You'd have a difficult time, at the least, to try to figure out what that is, because they're not giving you that OEM flash code. You also can't call a dealer up or a buddy and say, hey, help me out with this mid-PID FMI. They need the flash code. The tools also are not updatable, and the function performance varies greatly. When we decided on which one to sell, I literally bought 5 of them. We went out to a shop, and I can tell you all 5 of them would give us different results, different codes, and different ECUs that it would connect with or not connect with. So the variety really varies greatly with those tools as well. So let's talk about JPRO, which is sold by Noregon. JPRO is really one of the first ones to come to the market with an aftermarket software that would connect to a vehicle, and it would read everything. It would read your engine, your transmission, your ABS system, cab controllers. It would read all this stuff. It's a very slick, easy-to-use interface. But they've really changed up now. What happened in January, February with JPRO is what they used to do is you would buy like their heavy-duty module. and then they had a Cummins module, and a Volvo module, and a Detroit module, and some of these other ones. And you could pick or choose which module you wanted to add to it. So, you know, your price would go up, but you buy the software, it would work. It would never expire. You just wouldn't get updates after a certain time. So it was a pretty good thing. But what they did is they changed it now. Where now you don't have a choice. When you buy JPRO, you buy not only JPRO software for the heavy-duty module, but you get all their add-ons as well, whether you want them or not. So when you buy JPRO, you now have to pay $1,600, and you're basically leasing it for a year. So after a year, your software is going to completely stop working, and you're going to have to pay them $1,600 a year to reactivate it for another year. So with that said, they also have a lot of gaps in their coverage. Example being, they say they have Cummins and Detroit coverage, but when you really drill into it and find out, there's only 5 commands available with Cummins and 4 with Detroit. And it's really limited information that's in there. So you can't do all the commands, you can only do some of them, and you can't do them on all years. And they also have no bidirectional controls for all the other OEMs. So you're not going to be able to do anything with CAT, International, Fuso, Isuzu, Hino, PACCAR, any of those other guys that are out there. And then, oh yeah, by the way, if you want repair information, you're going to have to pay another $2,200 a year for that. And it's online only, so you must be on the internet to use it. So JPRO is a good tool in some situations. It's just not a great tool because it doesn't have all the coverage that most clients are looking for when you start getting into these higher end systems. And at the end of the day, you know, you're going to be into this system with a laptop, adapters, cables, everything for $5,500 the first year, and then you're perpetually paying that $1,600 a year. So let's talk about a competitor to JPRO, and that's called PF-Diagnose. This is a company up in Canada, and they did what JPRO did as well. They made a universal program that will read absolutely everything. It'll read your engines, your ABS, your transmissions, cab controllers. It'll give you both those generic codes and give you the live OEM codes as well. And it will also give you live sensor data. It does a little bit better than the JPRO on a couple things. First of all, it also does OBD2, which is the connector that you would see in a Ford, Chevy, or Dodge. And it will do force regens on things that use OBD2 only. So Isuzu, Ford, the newer Fusos and Hinos, it will do a force regen on those. It will not do it on anything that uses a 6 or 9 pin, like a Caterpillar, Cummins, Detroit, or any of those. You can also change parameters on international ECMs. Parameters are things like maximum road speed, cruise speed, idle shutdown timers. The license with Pocket Fleet, this is what we really like about Pocket Fleet, is it's lifetime, it never expires. So if you're a shop or a mobile truck or you're looking for something to hook up, give you actual good codes, the program's never going to expire, and you want to do basic troubleshooting or triage repair information, Pocket Fleet is definitely the way to go. Works forever. Updates are only $125 after the first year. And it works with not only on-highway trucks, but it works with marine, agricultural, earth moving, which covers like John Deere and Komatsu and Case and all those guys. It does work with some CAT stuff as well. Works with generators and automobiles it works with as well too. So you can't run tests or change parameters with it besides the things that we just mentioned. And it has limited built-in troubleshooting, but it is a very, very good piece of software. Taking that a step further, we take the Pocket Fleet software, we bundle it up with a laptop, a DPA5, the adapters, the cables. You'll see there's a little blue CD case there called DTC Solutions, which we'll talk about later. That program will tell you how to fix all the codes. So it's a very, very good kit for the customer that wants something out of the box, ready to go to work and hook up, read everything, and give you basic troubleshooting. We have a ton of service manuals on there. And we do include some other OEM software as well, such as the Bendix ABS software, the International 2007 and older software is on there as well. So all that's included. And again, folks, I know I'm going through these fast. I don't want to take up everybody's time the whole day. So if you have any questions, please feel free to throw them into the chat box down there, and we'll cycle back to them. On to the next. This is a system called the HD Pro, and actually they just came out with the HD Pro 2. We just haven't put the new picture on there yet, but it looks remarkably similar. It's made by a company called CanDo. And CanDo, this tool is imported from overseas. So what it does, it's not a Windows-based tablet. It runs its own operating system, and it's universal. It will hook up like Pocket Fleet, and it'll read all the codes. However, it will not always give you the flash code. So it'll give you some generic information, not the flash codes. You can view your live sensor data, but what it really does good is on Hino and Isuzu, and also Mitsubishi Fuso I'll throw in that, and there's some Cummins. So if you're a fleet or you're looking to do repairs on Hino or Isuzu or Mitsubishi Fuso, if you remember on that slide I had up earlier, that software from those vendors was literally $2,000 per year minimum for each of those 3 vendors. This CanDo system will do all those commands on those trucks. So Hino, Isuzu, and Fusos, force regens, injector tests, filter resets, change your engine parameters, whatever you want to do on those trucks, you can do with this tool. So it's not really built for North American tools, but they are making it work with them. That's why it does the read-only functions, and they're obviously adding more as they go on. You do get updates free for 2 years with those guys as well. After 2 years, there is a fee if you want to keep getting updates. Again, it's a non-Windows operating system, so we can't add any other software to it. What you have is what you got. Their tech support, we do tech support here with it. However, they're based in California, so they are a couple hours behind us, and their tech support department can be difficult to get to at times. But in the right application, it is a good tool for the right customer. We have a guy in Georgia. He has a fleet of 75 Hino trucks that he maintains for a client, and he said it works absolutely great, and we're more than happy to give him out as a reference if everyone wants to talk to someone that has any of these tools. So let's move up to the next bad boy. This would be the Snap-on ProLink Ultra Heavy Duty, and it comes in 2 different colors. If you buy it from your local Snap-on truck, you're going to get the top picture. That's the red one. If you buy it through Nexic, and Nexic is a company owned by Snap-on, you'll get the blue one. So Snap-on dealers sell the red one. Everybody else sells the blue one. It's the exact same thing. There's no difference at all in functionality. So it's very popular because it's everywhere. Every Snap-on guy's selling it. It does most bi-directional commands, not all of them. And that's kind of the catch with this tool, is the hardware is not too bad. You're paying $2,500 for the tablet and the cables. The problem is the software. So when you buy this tool, you have to buy their heavy-duty module, then you have to buy their CAT module, then their Detroit module, then their international module, and so on and so on. And by the time you're said and done, if you bought everything they possibly had, you'd be up to $14,000. That's what your Snap-on guy is going to quote you. The problem being with that is there are still gaps in coverage. They do not have Packard coverage. They do not have Hino, Isuzu, UD trucks, the Mack and Volvo coverage. Cummins is really limited. It only works on certain model years. So you're up to 14 grand, and now you find out you can't do everything. And the other problem, there's 2 other problems with it really. There's no repair information included. That's something extra you have to buy. And the other problem with is the updates. So Cummins comes out with a new test or a new sensor or a new engine line. They make you pay an upgrade fee to upgrade your Cummins to the new version. And they can't tell you what it's going to cost. We actually just tried to call them yesterday to just kind of ask some questions like, hey, I got a client that has this. What's it going to cost when the new 2016 or 2017 models come out? And they just say, we don't know. So you can easily be looking at some pretty expensive tool here that's not going to get you everything you need. And I can tell you a lot of the stuff's not in there that they want to do. So even though they say they have coverage, I guarantee you they can't do injector programming on all the engines. And there's other commands that clients have told us are missing from it as well. So again, it's a good tool. It just doesn't quite get you all the way there, and it's really expensive. So let's talk about this next one. This is the ESI Truck by Bosch. If you have any kind of salesman around there at all, you will see that you've probably seen this tool. So a couple things about the Bosch ESI. So first, let's talk about the good. So I would honestly say it has more coverage than the ProLink Ultra Heavy Duty, and it costs less. Their tech support is also good. You can call in to clients, you can call in to Bosch, and they will give you some tech support answers on things, and they're pretty knowledgeable. So they're actually very good. They answer. They got a full staff of people, and sometimes you got to get bumped up a level or 2 to get some answers, but you can get them. The other nice thing about the Bosch system is that little green box that you see sitting next to the tablet, kind of in front of those CDs. That's the connector box that connects to the trucks. And that box can also be used with all the other OEM software. So if you buy a Bosch system, you can use that green box and get some of the other OEM software or Pocket Fleet or whatever else you want and not have to buy another adapter. So it does work that way. The other ones do not. The cons with it, I would say, is it's a required annual fee to keep it going. So if you don't pay your annual fee of $1,500, the tool will completely stop working and you won't be able to use it at all. It's read-only, so you can't run any tests. There are also minimal updates for it. And part of that reason is this tool actually won Tool of the Year award from some industry, but they don't even make it. It's actually made by, the design and development work is done by a company called Kajali over in Spain, and they license it to Bosch. So Bosch then puts their name on it, kind of rebrands it, makes it look different, and they sell the tool. So the development work's done by Kajali, and what that means is you only get updates 3 times a year. They send you DVDs in the mail, and you literally take you anywhere from 1 to 2 hours to run all the updates, including the firmware update. I would say a lot of times there's problems with the updates, and we have a lot of clients that we kind of have to back up and do some other stuff to try to get their updates to work for them. The coverage is also not as advertised. So Bosch kind of has that mass market approach where everybody can sell this tool. If you go on Google and type ESI Truck, Bosch, you will probably find 20 different vendors selling it. And I guarantee if you call them and you start talking to these people, they probably don't have a clue what the coverage is beyond what Bosch told them. And that's been the disappointing thing to us, is when we first got involved with it, Bosch told us what it would do, and we really found out after we sold a bunch of them, it really didn't do everything. So a couple examples, 2013 and newer Volvos are read-only. There's no bi-directional commands. We have a test ECU here we just hooked it up to. It's a 2004 Cummins ISX ECU. When we go in with the Bosch tool, there was a total of 11 different commands and activations that we could do. When we went in with the tool I'm going to show you on the next slide, that one had over 50. So they do have coverage, but the coverage isn't always as deep as all the other OEMs. And they also, again, I kind of go back to some of the more difficult coverages that people look for is injector coding, especially with the Caterpillar. I believe this tool will do like the CAT with the serial numbers, but it will not do like the CAT trim files because there is no CD-ROM. There's no way to put the files on there. So it is limited. It's a good tool. Again, it's not a great tool, and we really don't like it because of that required fee. Anyone that makes you pay a fee every year to keep using their tool after you just drop down $7,500, that's a tough stretch for us. So here's the tool we would completely recommend to anybody. This is the TEXA tool, and the name of the software program is IDC4. So we have sold several hundred of these things now since we went in business with TEXA. We can tell you it's by far the widest and deepest coverage in the market. So this tool will do, besides doing force regens, parameter changes, injector tests, EGR actuator calibrations, and all those things, it will do injector programming on all the engines, including the cats that need the trim files. So it does all of them. And it also does all the imports. So it has great coverage on the Hino, Isuzu, Mitsubishi Fuso. This tool, to go back one slide, the Bosch, this one does struggle with the import stuff, and the IDC4 works great with it. So the other great thing with it, besides having the deepest coverage and the widest coverage in the market, it has no required annual fees. So once you buy a TEXA, it's good forever. You don't have to, it won't stop working, you don't lose any functionality, and if you want to keep getting updates after the first year, there is a fee for that. So they charge $600 a year to keep getting updates and to have support, which is really minimal compared to what the other vendors are asking for. Their updates also happen a lot more fast and frequently. So you get updates 4 to 7 times a year, and they do them through the internet. So there's just version 39 just came out this week. All of our clients got a notification when they opened their program that a new update was out, and they were able to download it off the internet. Very simple and quick, easy install process. They also sell other modules for off-highway and agriculture. Case, Cat, John Deere, Komatsu, all those guys. They sell another one for power sports, which would be your motorcycles like Harley and Ducatis and everything else. A marine module and an automobile module. And the auto module for them really just covers supercars, like the Lamborghinis and Porsches and Maseratis of the world. It's not really meant for like a domestic tool, so it's more of a high-end tool. So some of the problems with it, though, no tool is perfect. The adapter, that's that black box that says TXT right in the front of it. That box will only work with their program. You can't use any other adapter with it, and you cannot use that adapter with another program. The other problem is the time zone. TEXA their corporate headquarters are in Italy. They're a very large company over in Italy. They have over 600 employees. So for tech support stuff, after it gets past like noon, 1 o'clock Eastern time, it's a bit of an issue because all their engineers are gone home for the day since it's 6 p.m. over in Italy. However, they are opening a U.S. office in New Jersey, which will be opening up next month. So hopefully that will kind of eliminate that problem for them as well. So we're going to talk about two other things here, and then we'll kind of go into the question and answer session of this. So first of all the kits we sell, and we also sell it as a standalone program, is DTC Solutions. So what this does is this program is a quick and dirty, easy way for you to find repair information on trucks. So anytime you get a code, you can pop into DTC Solutions, put in your engine, your code. It'll give you a paragraph, a sentence to a couple paragraphs on why the code got set, and it'll tell you where to go to fix it. It's not pinpoint diagnostic, but it does get you in the ballpark on where you need to go to fix the truck for codes. And you do not need to be on the internet to use it. And it covers all major engines, ABS, and transmission systems. So for those of you that are interested in talking to us any further or want some more further in-depth questions, what we offer is obviously free one-on-one consultations. You call the 1-800 number shown on there or email us. Any of our salespeople inside be more than happy to talk to you about your unique situation. Like I said, there's a lot of options out there. Usually when customers talk to us, we quote them a couple different ways and give them the pros and cons of each so that you're able to make an informed decision. We have our own tech support staff here. So when you buy anything from us, we do all of our tech support in-house. So yes, you buy a TEXA tool and you have a code and you need help, you can call us, we will help you. So we do everything from that to my computer got a virus or I can't connect to a truck or whatever the issue may be. We also offer long-term financing up to 5 years for customers that want to get a low monthly payment. We have support packages past year 1 for the clients that want to have a more hands-off approach and just say, I need my tool working at all times with the latest software, and I need a hotline to call for any issues. So we have that. We offer training. We have both videos. We do web demos like this for training for clients, and we also do one-on-one training with them as well. We're available for over-the-internet live demonstrations. So if you want to see any of these tools in action on some of our test ECMs, we'll do that with you. And we also have field reps out in the country. So we're not everywhere. We do have coverage in North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Kentucky, and we have California and Oregon as well now in Washington. So we're out that way as well. So for anyone that wants to do that, we can definitely help you out with that. So I know there's a bunch of questions here, so I'm going to just start answering them, and I'm going to kind of go from the oldest to the most recent. So one of the clients asked, one of the customers on the webinar asked, how long does it take to recover a laptop that has OEM software if the PC is lost or the hard drive crashes? And the answer is not very long, because all the licensing, we keep track of what licenses we issue to you. So say you buy a laptop, you have it for 6 months, and it gets totally destroyed, you lose it, someone steals it. Yes, you're going to have to buy some new hardware again, but we can deactivate all the licenses for that OEM stuff, and we can reactivate it on another computer. So depending on how much software you have, it may take us a day or two, but usually it's a pretty quick process, and we just send the whole kit right back out to you. So hopefully that answered David's question there. All right. So David was asking, what are all the OEM applications you provide for the $24.95? I'll have to get a list. So just trying to think from my head here because I don't have a picture up of it. We offer, let's see, the Bendix ACOM software comes with it. The Cummins Power Spec comes with it, which is a program from Cummins for doing a little bit of basic stuff. DDEC Reports from Detroit comes with it. We have Eaton Service Ranger version 2 that comes on it. The international 2006 and older OEM software is on there as well. And we have a variety of there's some other ABS and transmission software that comes on it as well. So honestly, the stuff that comes on it, you know, there's a bunch of free software you can get out there from all the vendors. So we put everything free we possibly can on the laptop. All the other stuff that requires licenses and purchases on the $24.95 kit are actually installed. They're just not activated. So if you call us up and you buy a $24.95 kit, you call us up 2 months later and you want to buy Cummins Insight, we can definitely help you with that. All right, had another question here about who supports CanDo. Does the laptop support the CanDo system? Yes, we do. We support any kit that we sell. We actually put our stickers on every single laptop kit that we go out the door. We want to be your first call. The CanDo is more difficult to support out in the field because we cannot remote into it, which we do on all of our Windows-based computers when you have issues. So we do it over the phone. But if there's issues we can't resolve, that's when we get CanDo themselves involved to help you as well. So that's the way we actually do everything. The TEXA, the Bosch, the CanDo, the OEM software, Pocket Sleep, all of them, they all come through us first. This is what we do day in and day out. We're easier to get a hold of, and we usually see the same things over and over again, so we're able to help clients out. And that way there's no finger pointing with the vendor saying, oh, it's a software, it's a computer issue, or an adapter issue, or whatever it is. We deal with it all here first. Someone asked, how do we collect your research? So a couple ways we do it. One, we sell a lot of tools. So the TEXA tool, we've sold over 250 of them since September. So we know exactly what it can and cannot do. And the same with the other software as well. The ones we don't sell a lot of are the JPROs and the Nexic IQ systems, which is also the Snap-on. So a lot of what we get on that is from us calling Noregon and calling Nexic and just asking questions, and then also talking to clients. So that's where we get our research on those. The other ones, though, it's just our experience working with the tools day in and day out. Question was, when did we last update our research? I actually updated it today before I went and did the modifying this PowerPoint that we just did. I will say yesterday, or actually it wasn't yesterday, it was yeah, maybe it was yesterday. One of our salespeople called Noregon and Nexic specifically to ask questions about coverages and prices and some other things, just to re-verify everything that we're sending out and talking about is what we're being told by those vendors. So we try to update as quickly and as much as possible when we do these. All right, question. Why doesn't the Bosch unit advertise its coverage? Here's the thing. None of these vendors advertise their coverage. Bosch doesn't do anything. The Bosch, TEXA, CanDo, JPRO, none of them advertise their coverage. And I think the reason's really twofold. One, to put in let's say this, Bosch has a document that shows their coverage, and I'll be more than happy to give it to anybody that wants it, but it's 1,400 pages, and it's chart after chart after chart, and it still doesn't detail out the exact tests or commands that it does. Because that's always the question people ask is, will it do XYZ on truck ABC? And most of the other vendors that sell these things will probably just say yes, but they really don't know. And even when you call Bosch, I tried to do it myself. I tried to call them and say, hey, I got a 2008 Cummins ISX with this serial number. Will it do a, cylinder cutout test? And it's literally a 10-minute ordeal for them to try to figure out if it'll do it or not. So I think part of the problem is it's hard for them to do that. And part of the problem is it evolves and changes really, really fast. So an example being TEXA, their last update that just came out, there's literally, 5 or 6 pages of enhancements and additions and new things that they've added to it. So it's one of those things that's constantly changing, and we really just kind of know through history what our coverage is. And the reason we know so much about what the Bosch doesn't do is we sold a bunch of them and had a bunch of really unhappy clients, and we actually ended up trading them out of their units and putting them into TEXAs just because of having the better coverage. All right, next question up here. Customer says, I have PF-Diagnostic. I'm connecting to Merit or Labco. I haven't been able to read trouble codes. And that was from Bill. So Bill, please call into the 1-800 number so we can work with you. A couple reasons why that might be. So Pocket Sleep, there's a section on there where we'll show you detected modules. We would need to see if the Labco is showing up there, if the ABS is even showing up there or not. Sometimes the ABSs don't always tell the world that they exist, and then we have to go look in the PIDs. The PIDs to go see all the sensor values to make sure it's actually reading. Another possibility was the tool is hooked up as J1939 and not J1708. which will cause another issue. So please call us. It should definitely always read your ABS software. So call our toll-free number. It's up on the screen still. Just do option 2 for tech support, and one of our people will remote in and work with you to make sure everything's working. But it definitely does read ABS on the LabCo. Someone said they heard Kajali is being sued by OEMs for reverse engineering. You know, I've heard that too. I doubt it's true, to be honest with you, because there is nothing per se illegal with reverse engineering, but stealing somebody's code is. So taking things apart and figuring out how they work is one thing. Stealing them and copying code is something different. You know, maybe they are, maybe they're not. I haven't heard anything from Bosch or Kajali or any of those guys doing it. I can tell you that the big players in Europe are TEXA and Kajali, and these are both like multi-billion-dollar companies. They're not, you know, some guy in his garage hacking the software and putting it out there. It could be. I heard that about 6 months ago. I did a bunch of Google research. I could not find anything. I talked to the reps at Bosch about it, and they said they hadn't heard anything either. So, you know, maybe people are lying to me. Maybe it's a rumor. Maybe it's true. I have no way to know, but I have yet to see anything written or verbally talk to anyone at them about that. Question, where do you get your pricing information from? We get it, well, we're direct with some vendors, so we have our pricing from there. Otherwise, we call the vendors, see what their pricing is, go on websites, basically find it wherever we can get it. So I'm not sure where the question was asked, but that's where we get our pricing. I will say, you know, we're not a huge company, so we definitely try to keep our costs down. So I know a lot of times our pricing is a little more aggressive than some people are used to, but we did just really, honestly, just try to update our pricing just the other day on everything on the website before we did the presentation today. So if something's wrong, please email us and let us know. All right. What Ford, GM, and Chrysler support does the Bosch have? The answer is none. So Bosch doesn't have any support for any of the medium-duty trucks. The JPROs have some. It doesn't work with all models. I can't remember which ones offhand. The Pocket Fleet will read codes on all the domestics. Otherwise, the TEXA has coverage like on F650, 750, that type of size. They're working on other coverages. Otherwise, I'm going to pull it up on my screen here for everybody. There is another tool that we sell as well called Auto Ingenuity. So Auto Ingenuity is more focused on the auto world. So this is the one we typically sell to customers when they are wanting some better coverage for automobiles. So that's the Auto Ingenuity website right there. It's on our website. We have it in stock. We sell it. But to get like Ford coverage on that, you're talking with the adapter would be $350. If you wanted complete coverage for your domestics, Ford, Chevy, and Dodge with the adapter, it's going to cost you around $750. I will say too, if you need the Ford, Chevy, and Dodge coverage and you are willing to be a little bit patient, the TEXA will have it in version 40 is what they're telling us now. They thought they'd make it to version 39, they didn't. So they're saying version 40 is when they expect to have coverage from F250 all the way up through F750 and the same size in the Chrysler and GM stuff. All right, another question. ESI is read-only with the 2013 Volvo and Mac. Yes, absolutely. The last update, we had a client with the 2016 1 version of the Bosch ESI, and it was read-only. We called Bosch, we verified. We haven't tried since then. I haven't seen any more updates from Bosch since then. So as far as I know, yes, that one is 2013, and newer Volvo Mac is read-only. Actually, I can only say Volvo. I can't say Mac because I didn't hook up to Mac. It was only a Volvo. So again, if we're wrong on any of this stuff, let us know so we can correct it and research it. All right, question was, why do we sell JPRO? It's on your website. You weren't very positive about it during your description. Why do you sell it? Because there's a fit for every client. So for the client that says, you know, this is what we're looking for, we want to have just a little bit of coverage, maybe they're an all Cummins fleet, and they don't really care to do much besides the 5 commands that Cummins can do, it's probably a better option than buying the Cummins OEM software in the right situation. So that's why we sell as much as possible, and when a customer calls us, we definitely talk to you and say, what's your situation? Are you a repair shop? Are you a fleet, mobile maintenance? What do you want to do? What do you need to be able to do? And then we kind of price you out your different options from there. So that's why we have it on the website. But yeah, we do not sell a lot of it. And honestly, because by the time you, well, let's go back to the price. So you're looking at the JPRO. By the time you buy the software, adapter, and laptop, you're at $5,500, and you're going to be required to pay that $1,600 every year. If you're going to do that, why wouldn't you just buy a IBC4 for $61.95 and have no required annual fees and have wider and deeper coverage, and it never expires? So you're much better off going that route if you're going to spend that kind of money, because there's better options for it. Question was on the TEXA, can you just buy the software and use your own laptop? Absolutely. Just need to have a conversation, because we don't include just the IDC4 software with it. We also include our DTC solutions and a bunch of service manuals. So you're more than welcome. There is a discount. Just call us and we'll talk to you about your situation. We just want to make sure your PC can handle it and it's got enough specs. But yes, we will sell that without the laptop. And again, you have to use their box that comes with it. All right, customer is saying they're available for internet registration or training for their PF, so we can definitely take care of them on that. So a customer asked here, says the biggest problem their company has is on the field of the DPF and PF-Diagnose in the force region. They deal with Volvo, Max, Volvo, Freightliner. And they, yeah, it's the problem they're having is they need all this software to do the force regen. Most customers want, they call us and ask three things. Can I, besides code reading, right? That part's pretty easy. But they say, I want to do force regen, I want to do injector tests, I want to change parameters, and sometimes they ask us if they can code injectors. So the only one that I know has the complete coverage is the IDC4 by TEXA. The other ones, the Bosch has a problem with the Volvos, and I haven't tried it enough on the other ones to make an educated enough yes. The Snap-on just doesn't even sell the software for a lot of the engines, and it's more expensive. And the JPRO obviously doesn't have all those commands either. So that's kind of the issue with that. But the TEXA, the best bang for the buck is definitely the TEXA, without a doubt. And someone else asked, does anyone read the HD OBD2 Volvo Max P codes, or will they read them soon? The TEXA definitely does read all the P codes for those, for the Mac and Volvos, and it also reads them for the UD trucks, the newer ones, because they use Volvo engines as well. Mitsubishi also has their P codes, which that will read too. So TEXA has the coverage on those. You're right though, the other tools, the most I've seen on these other guys, it won't give you the actual P codes, it'll give you the PSID and the MID and all those other things. Even Pocket Fleet won't give you the P codes with that stuff as well. So let's see what else we hear. I guess there's any more questions I got from Lori. Lori, I think I got them all. Is there any that I happen to miss there at all?
No, I don't
go through the
think
chat
so.
room here. Okay. Oh, someone asked me on the chat if they have a Nexic interface. Is that current for all software, OE, and aftermarket? If they have a Nexic USB link original, it's going to work with most of the software. Some of the newer software that's come out with the Zuzu and Hino, they want the USB link too. But otherwise, the original USB link will work with all of it. The USB link 2 works with all the new stuff, but not some of the old stuff. So that would be my answer to that question. And let's see if there's any more here. Yeah, Pocket. Someone made a comment about Pocket Fleet. Pocket Fleet is the name of the company, and PF-Diagnose is the name of the program. So I sometimes use those interchangeably. And another question was, your database on DVD, does that have all makes, codes, and define them? I think that person was referring to our DTC solution. So that has both of them. It has the mid-pit FMIs, and it has the OEM flash codes. To give everyone an example of what that program looks like, I will pull it over here onto this computer, and I will show you an example. So let's just go look up a Cummins. So on a Cummins, we'll just pick any code at random here. It will give you the actual OEM fault code, which is 135. but it also give you these mid, PID, and FMIs. So anytime possible, we had both. They are in the system, and they're all cross-referenced for each other, and you can search and sort these columns by those things. So if I want to search by SPN, I'm more than able to do that as well. All right, another customer said if they already have software like Pocket Fleet, can they buy the updates from us and we support them? Yes, absolutely. Even if you don't have some of that OEM software from us, like Cummins Insight or Premium Tech Tool, we can definitely process renewals for that as well. Someone asked if you buy the Cummins software, does it have diagnostic troubleshooting in it for repair info? So yes, Cummins Insight, you can double click a code, you get your repair information. But I will be perfectly honest to you, all the Cummins repair information is 100% free from Cummins. So if you want to, you can go to, Cummins has an app you can download on your phone that has all the repair information. That's absolutely free. If you go to quickserve.cummins.com, you can go on this website, absolutely free, and you can sign up for a free account. You can put in 5 engine serial numbers, and you can get all your repair information on those, including the code help. Over here on the right, you'll see is the download link for the Google Play and Apple Store for their application. And the other thing I would recommend that you do is if you go to insight.cummins.com and download their Insight program, install it. It won't work. You haven't bought a license for it. However, all the repair information is in there. So you just navigate to one of their folders, and I will pull it up on my computer here just to show them what it looks like. Actually, I'm sorry. Actually, I cannot open it right now. Yeah, sorry. It's stored in our server, so I can't open it. But all the exact Cummins troubleshooting is available for free from Cummins. But it does come with the Cummins Insight program as well. And I believe that is all the questions I got. I will check my email one more time to see if Lori forwarded me any more, and she hasn't. So again, I really appreciate everybody's time. And if you have any questions, feel free to email or call us. We're more than happy to talk to you. And thank you for watching the conference. Thank you much. Everyone have a great day.